Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. Got my man Wally in the building,
Yep.
Mason in here, and this guy, we're not even gonna say his name, Casey Fred, that's like
What's
steadily
up?
showing off, rubbing it in.
Don't start. Don't
Woo!
start. I'm
Yeah,
playing.
baby. Hey, I just
Uh,
want to give a little white flag to all the Baltimore Raven fans that always
Oh, he got
see,
props.
see, you dig it. You dig it.
I have a dream today.
See. This is what you call.
He's been waiting all week for that.
Yeah, buddy. Woo!
So before we start, we gotta get these predictions out the way. I'm kind of scared to do it, but we gonna do it. Wally said he gonna dumb down. He said he ain't shook. So Wally, who you got on the Super Bowl?
Man, I'm going with the story. Not the story that they trying to push. The story that's under the covers. I'm going with 49ers. I don't care.
Okay.
Y'all
How you feel?
KC's push y'all buttons too dang much for me.
So
Y'all
Casey Fred, how you feel
substitute.
about that prediction?
Well, unfortunately, it's going to be a third ring over here, Wally, because you wearing champions, but it's going to say KC on it. I might personally write KC on your shirt before it's all over.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh no! Oh no, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. No, you ain't.
Where's the marker at?
Man, I do want. I would like to see 49ers, but for some reason, man, KC just keeps getting lucky, man. They keep squeezing by, man. Teams keep choking up at the wrong time. I don't know what it is. So
it's called the Super Bowl pedigree, man. Experience, man, over novelists. You know,
they do got my boy Travis Kelce, so that is my guy. You know,
I mean, the Patriots did it. Now they all retired. Now it's KC's turn, man. It's just our time. And I just want to say on record, welcome to the Patrick Mahomes era, man. Y'all should know this. This is the GOAT. Michael Jordan had his time.
Is he really the GOAT?
Patrick Mahomes, this is his time. He's breaking all the records, and everybody knows it. And you, Wally, are being able to have the privilege to witness it right before your eyes. Obama, baby, what's up?
I'm witnessing something already. I'm witnessing something. Trust me, I'm witnessing something.
If he does choke, this is like 2 Super Bowls he lost, so it ain't gonna be too favorable. But Fred, I have a feeling you're gonna come back and you're gonna rub it into the highest level. So we'll be prepared.
Well, I might be live from the parade, you know what I'm saying, and just let y'all know what time it is. You know? Might be sending everybody some, Super Bowl shirts. What size are you, Wally? I'll send one to you, brother.
It's non-existent.
We ain't wearing that. Tell him, Wally, we ain't wearing that nonsense. You better keep them shirts.
Everybody gotta wear one, okay? That's what's gonna go down.
But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the movie review. We had of course, man, Super Bowl coming up, so we're gonna make these predictions, and hopefully couple weeks from now, Casey Fred is gonna come up here. He's gonna be a little upset. I don't know. He might call out.
Nah,
we don't know how that's gonna go, but
boy.
I know exactly how this is gonna go. It's gonna be nightmares, but it is what it is.
I'm kind of with you, Wally. That's why I'm predicting, man. So
you guys said all this last week, and you saw what happened, and like I said,
oh no, we saw what happened already.
Shirt,
we saw what happened already.
Oh,
trust and believe we saw what happened already.
You wear last year's shirt, but this is the brand new shirt, bro. Fresh. So hey.
But all right, let's go ahead. Let's jump into this movie review. No more Chiefs stuff. I'm tired of them.
Hey.
Let me pull up the slides real quick and get it prepped. So, all right, jumping into the summary. So, Lift is a 2024 American heist comedy film directed by F. Gary Gray and written by Daniel Kunka. So, the quick summary on this movie: a master thief and his Interpol agent ex-girlfriend who team up to steal $500 million in gold bullion being transported on a A380 passenger flight. God damn, that was another lot of letters and stuff. But going to the directors and producers slide, directed by an F. Gary Gray, written by Daniel Kunka, and produced by, got quite a few people that was on the production side on this. So Simon Kinberg, Audrey Kong, Matt Reeves, Adam Kassan, Kevin Hart was definitely a producer on this, Brian Smiley. So going to the cast slide. Kevin Hart as Cyrus. Jugu, who I ain't even going to the last name no more. I'm not butchering last names today. As Abby. Sam Worthington as Huxley. Vincent D'Orfino as Denton. Ursula as Camila. Billy Magnuson as Magnus. Kim Yoon-ji as Misun. And Vivek Kalra as Luke. John Reno as Jorgensen. And Jacob Baton as Innate. So, all right, we get ready for the ratings. Let me go to the rating slide. So we'll start with you, Wally. What did you rate this movie?
How do I want to start this off?
I'll go ahead. I'll get my first.
All right, look. I'm gonna go with 8 right now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 8.
Oh, okay. So Wally got it between very good and excellent. Okay. Me, I put it at a 7.2 in a very good territory. So Casey, Fred, what was your rating for this movie?
I got it as 7.5, man.
Okay, 7.5. So Casey, Fred got to the very good territory and amazing. What would you rate this movie?
I hate being an outlier. I would say 5.
You said a 5?
A 5? Really? Oh wow. Okay.
Damn. Okay. So you put it between. So amazing score is between. You said 5, right?
Yeah.
Between decent and average. God damn. Okay.
5.1 if we want to put it average.
Well, you're definitely an outlier. So please break down why you rated this a 5.
I just felt like this isn't. I like all movies for like I can watch any movie. I wouldn't say like this is my favorite.
Obviously, shit ain't your favorite.
This specifically, though, I had a hard time. Like, I think it was. I can understand Kevin Hart wanting to transition into a more serious lead role. I just didn't think the transition was very good. I think it would have been much better had they had blended some funny scenes. Because I thought they had a lot of opportunity to do so. Like even his relationship between him and his crew, the relationship between him and Abby. Like I just felt like there was so much opportunity to put some jokes in there, or, to make the connection better between everybody's relationship, I guess. And I thought it was total lacking. Like I had even said, I thought like this wasn't even funny. When I was talking about it actually a little bit with the jerk, he's like, well, it wasn't supposed to be. I felt like it should have had something. Like I just thought the transition wasn't good. I feel like it was almost like they were scared to have him be funny, because it was like supposed to be a serious role for him. And I think they could have done both.
So you wanted him to be funny in a non-funny movie?
I wanted to have a couple, not completely funny, but I think they could have blended funny and action. Like, what are those old movies with the cop? Was that Eddie Murphy?
You talking about like Eddie Murphy 48 hours type?
Yeah, those were action, but they were also funny, and that was like I think that was his expertise, and I feel like it could have blended better.
So you want here? Let's do some pushback real quick. So basically, you only see him as a comedian. You don't see him as an action figure.
Yes, and I needed a better transition.
Is it because he's short?
I'm not saying did you say because he's short?
I don't think you have this problem if it would have been The Rock.
But I think the Rock has already transitioned. Like The Rock has transitioned from wrestler to he's done serious movie, he's done funny movies. Like I literally see Kevin Hart, and again, this is my own bias. I'm well aware of that. I see Kevin Hart as like The Rock's little assistant.
Woo.
Oh shit, you throwing
Woo. Sidekick.
Kevin Hart? I have no affiliation with Amazing. I just want to put that.
Now look,
Woo.
on one side, I would agree with you're saying there,
Woo.
but
Man.
I mean,
there's
not
a
even
slight
me.
pushback for me in your statement a little bit. It's like on some ends, what you're saying, this is why I was really like considering how I want to rate this. Because originally I was gonna rate this 7.5, but then there were those other things that came along with it that made it 8 for me. But
Go ahead, break yours down now, Wally. But so you is it just because Amazing? So pretty much you just seen him in so many like
Funny movies.
Yeah.
like
I mean, I
pushover
think he did good.
at that.
I think he did good. I just feel like the transition was so extreme because I have seen him in just funny movies. Like I feel like there could have been a better blending to kind of transition funny to serious. And it almost seemed to me like they purposely took out scenes that they could have made funny and it would have added to the movie, but they were focusing on trying to make it a serious role.
Okay. Yeah, because I think probably some people it was just weird seeing him in a serious movie after, typically he's the small guy that gets thrown around and stuff. So that's probably like he did so many of those films. It was like almost like all of them were in that like realm where it's hard to see him in anything else. But
well, he's always co-acted with someone, whether it was Ice Cube or whether it was The Rock. So this is the first time he gets the chance to be the headliner. He gets to be the man. And so at the end of the day, if you only see him through one glass window as a comedian, then and you can't get beyond that, then at the end of the day, you can't see all the other stuff he brings to the table. So
but let me go ahead. Let me get Wally's breakdown on his rating because he started hitting on it a little bit. So let me go ahead and get his why he gave it the 8 rating.
all right, so look, so Amazing. I ain't gonna lie. In a lot of ways, what you just said, there's some parts of this that sort of makes this like wanting me to push this back. But on the other hand, this is okay. Here's my thing, right? When I looked at
Just
this
go
movie,
with it, Wally.
no, trust me. I'll
Don't
come
do
to
it,
it,
Wally.
right? Look, when you said that there was no funny parts in this, I will say this, right? This movie to me was more so action, drama, and then crime more than it was the comedy. Like, was there comedy? No. But if you miss a lot of the many things that were in there that was the comedy, then you probably just glanced over it. For instance, do you guys remember after he robbed the creator, right? And he brought him to the yacht, right? And then they woke up, after being drunk and after having that little party, and then they're like, "Oh, wait, you guys are robbers? You robbed me?" And I'm like, all this. What happened after? He was swimming in his little penthouse, and then next thing you know, the girl that he was once talked to, which is the agent, she found some cute little picture. That's the funny part right there, in my honest opinion. That's the ha-ha moment right there for me. That's like the comedy without you actually saying anything. Right there for me.
Yeah.
So if you miss like those little, like it may not be the biggest ha-ha right there, but it's one of those moments where you look at it and you be like, oh, hello, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a ha-ha moment. It's a little bit of a ha-ha moment.
See,
but
and I must have thought too much into that scene because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they're trying to like set her up, and I thought it was a joke. Like I didn't even, and I was like, oh wait, they're for real. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like there was many moments that could have been both funny and helped him be the. I thought he did good as a lead character. It was just the transition was so extreme to me. It was like there was no transition. It was just one extreme to another extreme, and I had a hard time seeing him in a different role.
Right. Now, nonetheless, like I said, there's just those small things. But like I said, I had to take the comedy out of it because I look at it as more of a drama more than it is comedy. I think they did the fact that they said that there was going to be comedy in there, and it's not that in any much scenery. I think they sort of just put that in there just because it's Kevin Hart, more so than they're just being like, okay, this is what it really is. Because that's what I got from it. I got from action, drama, crime. That's what I got. Not much comedy. Like there's light pieces, but nothing major. But overall, I think when he looks at the execution, when you look at everything else that happened from the start to the mid to the end, and how everything all played out, how they all end up with switching, the very important goal at the end and everything else. That right there, that's a nice selling piece, because one thing when you think about crime, especially when it comes to these type of crimes, where is the clever thinking of it, right? Because when it came to that part of, okay, the gold is set on the ground, everything else of that nature. Because the one thing that you had to think about was, okay, you was thinking, hey, wait, the gold is safe. It's all good. The guy didn't have no time to switch it out, even if you opened the door and everything and all that. Wrong. So when they showed that end part and they broke it down, I'm like, oh, this guy's slick. Because we didn't know there was fake gold on the building. We didn't know there was fake gold on the plane. They thought they just could switch into the next plane. That's it. That's not the case. They set a decoy, set it up, and he already moved it on the side. He just falls into where, I just got caught. Like, yeah, I'm good. Go ahead. Sorry. Right? He played it off like he did nothing. And I think when you look at a lot of these key roles and key moments of everything else that goes down into a crime scene, you got to think to yourself, when you got to think of it like this, right? That movie with those magicians, I forgot the movie name, but
it did.
They were right, and they were so smooth with it. Yeah, but they were so smooth with it. They didn't look like they.
Now you see me.
They weren't worried about. Yeah. Now you see me, right? They were so smooth with it. They were cunning. You know what I'm saying? Even if they were, they show you that little heartbeat, that little drop, that little, charismatic thing, but then at the same time, it was real smooth. Oh, the teammate that was saying, "Oh, I'm on," but really, no, I'm leaving. No, he was still on from the same jump. Why? Because the same way in the movie, what happened? He was always the outlier. He was never in the main scenery, and they kept that same character. I'm the outlier. I'm not in the main scenery, but I'm still in the play. I'm thinking that is clever beyond all things, because the fact that he had to do that, where he's like, oh, one person left, one person choked. Nope, he never choked. He stayed a task, but he was stayed a task as a side piece on the board, never to be captured, never to be seen. So when you think about,
Wally, I was the one trying to convince you, not opposite.
Hey, look here. Hey, I'm trying to convince you. Look, I saw the ratings of this movie, and I must say, I don't know what people were watching. This was good to me. This was good. I'll be damned. This was good to me. Now, when I hear everybody else's, maybe I might go back down to 7.5. But for me, there was definitely some moments in here that I can see this being close to an 8. Maybe I might double back down and be like, okay, it's very good. But overall, the way how it played out, it was very good. Now, I will sit here and say, yes, when you think about Kevin, the more thing you think about is that role when he was in with The Rock in that movie CIA. You sort of thought it was going to be like that in a sense, but he came up in here smooth, suave, like, oh, I don't need that mask. You're good. Coming in there, he's just sitting right there like, mm-hmm. But the thing is, the fact that he's able to keep that composure, that character, everything else, for me, that was believable, because this is why I sit here and say it was sort of more drama than comedy, because he showed you the switches. So when you say that he wasn't able to do it, no, he showed you a lot of the switches in there. Show him that karate. Even though he was a criminal, he showed that karate for his partners, being like, I ain't going to drag y'all into this. I'm going to take the pitfall. Y'all go home. But nope, everyone's like, I'm in. Look, you did a lot for us. I'm in. We all going out together, no matter what. Even though everyone else got something to lose, including himself. So my thing is, when you really look at this movie and you really look at for how it played, for me, he sold it for me in this movie. So that's why I gave it for right now.
All right, let me get KC Fred. Great breakdown. So let me get KC Fred on there.
Yeah, in so many ways, I have to agree with Wally. 7.5. This is a chance for for Kevin Hart not to be Robin like in Batman and Robin, but for him to actually be Batman. This was the chance for him to actually be Denzel where he not only pulls something off, but then he also gets the woman at the end. You know, you think of, I believe there was a guy named Mark Wahlberg, where he was a leader of a team. This is the same way with Kevin Hart as Cypress, where he gets a chance to be the leader of his own team and really pull off something that has never been done before, you know. And then the simple fact of it is he also gets to be able to win a woman that, you know, that everybody else would have thought, I don't think you could pull this one off. Well, watch me. I'm about to pull this off. And so, I mean, you saw both situations grow. And at the end, not only did he get the gold, not only did his team stay intact, but then he also got his woman back. And so at the end of the day, I mean, he, instead of him being the sidekick, he became The Rock. He became Mark Wahlberg. He became the Denzel Washington, the leading role.
Fred, you're hitting your mic.
That
I think you're hitting your mic or something.
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
like it's taking the feedback.
I'm
like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
Let me put it in words.
My desk.
Hey,
I'm
let
sorry,
me
that
put
was
it in
me.
words that you guys can understand. He became the Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs, and let
see,
it.
he
Oh,
keep
God,
doing it.
here we go.
Like, okay, yeah. Oh, Lord have mercy. He just had to twist that in there.
Yeah.
He's right, but he had to twist that in there. He just had to twist
Type of guy just stabbed you and he's gonna twist the knife. He just can't like let you just bleed to death in peace. He's gotta just like force the wound open.
Right.
But all right, now let me go ahead and break down my rating. I kind of more in line with like I say Casey, Fred, and Wally. I do understand what Amazing's saying because I think he done much of those movies where, you know, you kind of just have them in a box. But I'm kind of like Wally, where I did appreciate this role, especially like with all the stuff that's been coming out lately with the whole Cat Williams and stuff. So for him to take this role, I thought it was timely. So I got it in like the very good territory because I really like the character and the cast. I think there was some like mishaps with the storyline that could have been stronger. But as far as the acting, I like how they had like the diversity element of that because it kind of reminded me of like Casey Fred was saying, the Italian Job mixed with like Ocean's 11, you know, like a more hip urban type version of that. So I really like how they had the team thing and, you know, how they like had, like Wally said, I think, you know, just how he was smooth with everything, you know, I didn't want too many jokes and stuff in this storyline. So I like how they didn't have too much like humor and stuff. I actually, you know, that's why I disagree with Amazing, where it's just like, I ain't want no jokes or nothing. I like how they had it like this. I think they just, you know, made some mistakes in the storyline and how it was written a little bit. I think they try to rush it a little bit. So that's why I would have had it in the 8 territory if it would have been stronger in the storyline.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wally.
Just to add to a little bit, right? I think because as much as the comedy, like I said, as much as the comedy that they had, it wasn't like major like comedy, like, but it did have humor. Like there was some decent humor, you know, casual humor, you know, between, you know, fellow, you know, mates and all that. And I think that's at best is what they're trying to sell in comedy, like just the humor, just the basic humor. So I think that's the main thing right there. And that's why that's why I'm saying like they had moments, but they were just basic. It wasn't like it was just trying to make you die like laughing and stuff.
Yeah, and I agree with you because it wasn't over the top where it's like almost I think they wanted the humor to come from other people because like the one guy that was like playing the music loud and stuff. It's like they let the others instead of like having Kevin Hart be the one doing all the jokes.
Right,
so I didn't like how they.
Because when you think about the older guy, right? Like him saying he's saying a different person's name, and it's like you looking around like, who are you talking? I'm like, oh, okay, are you talking like in third person something? Like, you know, you got a secret best friend in the waiting in the wings of you? Or no. But then the reality, when you got closer to the video, he has different personalities. So it's like, so that's humor because you wouldn't even really think about it because it's like you just talking to an imaginary friend. It's like, oh no, you got different personalities amongst yourself. That's why you do that. And that's why he's like a decoy, quote unquote, because he keeps switching his image and all that. So I'm like, okay. So again, this is like small bits. Like if you can't catch it, then you miss it right there off the block.
Yeah, no, definitely. But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the questions and stuff. So let me pull those up real quick. Pull the slides back up. So, all right, I'm gonna roll the first two like we did last time. So, would you recommend this movie to anyone, and would you watch this movie again? And I'll start with Casey Fred. We'll just work our way up.
Yes and yes. I thought it was good.
All right. I'll go ahead and answer real quick. Yeah, double yes on both. So let me kick it over to Wally. Would you recommend this movie to anyone? Would you watch it? Oh, double yes.
Yep.
All right. So amazing. What's your 5?
I would, but it would be like the caveat. Like I'm not like if I see a good movie, like I'm texting like my mom, my sister, like, oh my gosh, this is a good one. Watch it. Like that is not happening. But if somebody said something, I'd be like, yeah, I'm straight.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and jump into the third question. What did you think about the plot and the storyline? So I'll start with you, Casey Fred, on that one.
I thought it was good. I mean, because you saw at the beginning about, like I said, this was an action movie. So there was a lot of action throughout the whole movie. And you saw him at the very beginning pull off a heist. And then all of a sudden it goes from one heist to a bigger heist. And as you're watching it, like Wally said, there's a heist behind the heist. And so, and in the midst of all of that, you're still trying to win your woman. So I just thought it was really good. And like you were saying, Wally, the guy's name was Denton, but they said, but you haven't met Oliver. And that was his other personality and stuff like that. So there was different things throughout the movie. And they were basically showing you, especially through Kevin Hart being the leader, that he could get his team to rise to the occasion, no matter how outrageous it really was. And so, and then the ending part I thought was really cool, because one thing, they were able to use the beginning of the movie to be able to finish out the end, and be able to use the cameras, from, I think it was the NFT, to be able to tell the police of what just really occurred before they got there. And I thought that was fantastic. So yeah, so I enjoyed the movie.
Okay. Before I toss it over to other people to talk about the plot and the storyline, let me get CLS's rating on this movie. So CLS, what would you rate this movie?
7.
Okay. So CLS got it between good and very good. So okay, my rating was, just to give you a recap, I got it at 7.2. Casey Fred, you was like 7.5.
Yeah.
Wally had it at 8, and then a disappointment or amazing.
Miss Outlier herself.
What did she rate it?
She gave it a 5.
A 5? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't romantic for her.
It don't even matter though, because you do know you guys, you just watched The Italian Job. You know that, right?
See, there it is.
If you think you want me to give me my 2 cents now, or wait?
Yeah, go ahead and give your breakdown why you rated it a 7, but elaborate on it.
Very strong similarities in terms of narrative and character. It's just like The Italian Job with the gold and all, the gold heist and all that shit. The only it was even in Venice. The only difference is it was an airplane heist. That's it. They're stealing gold off a fucking airplane. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what you're saying is it was average.
Yeah, average.
Okay, then rate accordingly.
No, you had yours at decent.
I mean, I was still, I'm saying, but I like that. The only reason I rated it a little higher, I gave it a 7, was because I'm familiar with all of the actors on there and I know all of their work. Like Sam Worthington, remember the dude from the park bench, the agent?
Yeah.
He spread his legs open so Kevin Hart couldn't sit down. Called him homeboy and all that type of shit.
Look,
yeah.
CLS,
that was funny.
CLS, though, we're rating this show, not his other work. This one. Come on down.
We are talking. I am talking about this one. That's what I just said.
She's just trying to throw you off because she gave a shitty rating, so she's trying to suck you into her vortex of like nonsense.
You don't remember the park bench scene when Cyrus Abbey, I can't remember the white dudes, when they were sitting on the bench and he spread his legs open so he couldn't sit down, and he was like, really?
See, but notice this soft humor. You see, people would miss those things. That's part of the comedy right there.
That shit was funny to me. And he called him homeboy. He didn't like him. You know what I mean? He liked Abby, but you could tell he liked Abby, but he didn't like him.
Yeah.
And he had a crush on her or something. I don't think he knew they hooked up.
He was like, take her down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Amy,
And that was my man that was on Avatar, right?
Yeah, Avatar. But he was
Okay.
he was in Terminator Salvation too. You ever see Terminator Salvation?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in
Now
that too.
they had a definitely a strong acting
Yeah.
cast.
Hell yeah. All the actors are great. Like I said, even the chick Abby. Have you seen the movie Concussion?
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
She was Will Smith's wife.
that's a good movie
And
too.
Concussion. Yeah, it was a good movie. I love that movie.
Yep.
Like Concussion, she was in that movie. And what was the other shit I saw there? Shit. I wrote it down. I don't remember.
But the one guy.
I'm sorry. I've only seen her in 3 movies. You ever see that movie, that Tom Hanks movie, Larry Crown?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was the chick that played Abby. She was in that movie, and she was in that movie, that Channing Tatum movie, Jupiter Ascending. That movie was fucking terrible.
Yeah,
that sci-fi movie, that shit was terrible, bro. That's one of his worst movies.
Yeah,
He should
that
have died
was
100
awful.
times in that movie, huh?
But what's his name? The older guy I know he was Kingpin, so he's definitely
He's Kingpin in Daredevil, the TV series.
Daredevil.
Yeah. But he was on Law and Order Criminal Intent. Remember, he was a cop.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's right.
But then he was
that's
also
the same dude.
Yeah. And you ever watch that show? What was it? Godfather of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker, that TV series.
Yeah, he was
he's a mob boss.
Vincent the Chin. Yeah,
he's a mob boss on there too. Yep.
Yeah, great actor cast.
Great cast, bro. No
but all right, so what did you think about the plot or the storyline? CLS.
It was predictable. It was too predictable. Like I said,
okay.
The director? Was it F. Gary Gray? That his name?
Yeah, F. Gary Gray.
Yeah. I think it's Gary Gray. Yeah, he did Straight Outta Compton. I'm familiar with all his movies. Maybe that's what he was, what he was looking for. I guess it was too many similarities to the Italian Job. It was way too many. Way too many.
Okay.
The only difference was the plane heist. That's it. The only difference.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get Wally on there because we're gonna kind of circle.
Okay, I'll say it at the end. I'm sorry. I'll wait till the end.
Well, we'll get everything in the scenes because I want to pull some of that stuff out. So I'm gonna circle back to you. So Wally, what did you think about the plot or the storyline? And I know you kind of touched on it a little bit, so you don't have to go too deep if you don't want to.
Yeah. Overall, for the plot and the storyline, I think they both were great. Now, other than that, the fact that that's a copy, that's probably gonna ding my points down because I'll be damned. But other than that, look. As far as the plot and story, like I said, it played perfectly well. I love the storyline because the way how it showed everything in the beginning, it drived it back. Now we get a story of how they know each other and why they got this little thing going on, and it's like, and then of course how it unfolds piece by piece every single waking moment. But the one thing I do love about the storyline in this is him and his crew, Cyrus and his crew. Notice one thing. This is another big thing. The reason I like this movie and why I'm willing to give it a little bit up to the 8 is if you notice between him, like if you put him in the circle, right? If you put him in the middle, right, and then you put his crew in other parts of him, they're pretty much every representation of who he is. I want you to think about that. They're every representation of who he is in that way, because one of the clear reason I say this is because the older guy there that had the multiple different personalities, he read him perfectly when he was telling him about himself, of how he looked at the female. That was a lovely, that was a nice hitter right there because of how he got him into that. And those are more scenes that made it more drama than comedy to me, because it just gave you that feel, like it's giving you that sensibility of just seeing how the story between them is playing out. And so that's how I just look at it from there. But even then, as it goes down, is just the way his thought process is. And then you think about everyone else's, and then everything else. All of them literally mask who he is, and they're extensions of him. So he knows how to play the pieces well. And literally, this is why I gave this. This is really good.
Oh, you mean Cyrus knows how to play the pieces well?
Yeah, because when because look, when you think about it, right, when all his teammates and himself, he literally is in all his teammates. Okay, so I remember the part when he broke down in the movie, right, where he was talking to his chick that he had for a quote unquote business week, right?
5 days.
He broke, exactly 5 days, right? He broke it down to him, literally, he broke it down to her, right, about his thought process and how he thinks and moves. He tells her, "You go by the structure. Me, I'm an outlier.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, that's right, because think about it. For him being an outlier, you think he's in the bubble, but in reality, he's out of it. The thing is, he makes you see that he's still in it, but reality, he's already out because he got multiple different pieces scattered. That's what that is when it comes to him and his crew. And I love what they did there. Again, this is one of those many key pieces that if you miss it, you will be you will hate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck right there.
Yeah, I like that too. That was good.
Mm-hmm. So amazing. What did you think about the plot or the storyline?
After listening to you guys, I feel like you think I'm biased for seeing Kevin Hart in a comedy lane only.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're biased for considering.
Lord, she's doubling down with this nonsense.
Hey,
I mean, he does comedy action too.
We got words. We want to say the quote from Kevin Hart. We agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like,
that's nice. Put that in there. Sorry, I got the dog worked up.
Well, we can circle back to you.
Okay.
I'll come back. So I'll give my breakdown because I like what Wally was saying. And so that's what I did like about the plot of the storyline, because I did catch that where, he knew how to I'll say interact with his team, and he had that strategic thinking. So I like how they kind of capture that, because like Wally said, it's like he knew everybody's emotions. He knew how to approach them. He know how to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the one guy that was a little crazy and stuff that was breaking into safes, he was like, look, man, he's a little crazy. But whenever he came up to everybody, he knew how to approach him. He knew how to kind of interact with him. So it kind of showcases leadership, and then the one, like what Wally was saying, he knew how to, everybody kind of knew him also. So it showed that deep connection. It wasn't just a team that was thrown together. They knew each other. They had that camaraderie. They cared about each other and stuff. So I like how they kind of capture that in the storyline. But as far as the storyline, like I said, I thought it was good, but I think they kind of did some things differently, because what CLS was saying, it was a lot of similarities between Ocean's 11 and Italian Job, where they kind of I think they could have did some things differently and stuff like that. But overall, I thought it was a good movie. I think CLS, I said before, I was I think this was the more urban version of Italian Job, the diversity. So I like how they had captured that, and it was new wage. So go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to add on to what you were saying, because even in the film, it showed how he assembled his crew. How he left there in high school, and then I think what was the dude? Handsome Rob. What was it Jason Statham character, Handsome Rob?
Yeah.
In a car chase, and how he put the crew together. Yeah, it was dope. I don't know, are we at that part yet? The ending? Even the ending was similar to the time. Even the ending was. If you think about it,
we'll get the.
It really was. I can break it down.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop this back.
We can wait. We can wait till the end. We can wait.
No, okay. So amazing. Let me get back on her with the plot of the storyline, and then we'll jump into what scenes and performances stuck out.
Yeah, so I didn't see I don't think I've ever seen the Italian Job. It gave me Fast and Furious vibes.
Yes,
So
Fast 5 with the safes.
So I don't know which one, but it felt like Fast and Furious.
Yeah, they got 80 versions of that shit.
I mean,
I'll add on to what you're saying when you're finished.
But I liked it. I didn't think it was. I thought it was predictable. I thought some of it was predictable. Like Wally said, when we get into the scenes, there was a couple things that I definitely was not expecting. So maybe I could move it up a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was an average for what it was, and it was an action type average. I mean, it was somewhat different as far as if we take the plane into consideration. I will tell you, I liked the way, and I only say this because I know some people don't like it. I liked the way it kind of gave the subtitles of who was doing what, who, this was the IT person, or, I like that. And I kind of liked when they did those throughout the movie. So, but that's also, I mean, I'm the first to admit, if it's not direct, it, like Wally was saying, some of those jokes could have just went right over. I need a direct joke, or I may not be catching it. So I like that piece.
And they did that in both films too, like what you said, how it showed everybody's assignment. Like, this is the pilot, this is the actor, this is the
Yes,
engineer,
I like
this
it.
is the safecracker, this is the boss. Yeah, Italian Job, and they did it in Fast and Furious too. But you remember
Well, and
Fast.
I like the way they broke it down in general. Like, this is how we did stuff. And that's where it brought me back to CLS. I don't know if you were on when Wally was explaining the movie Now You See Me, because if they break stuff down in that movie too, like I like when they kind of do that.
I gotta go back and watch that one. I think I seen like pieces of it. Was that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
I
Yes,
can't even remember.
I think
Who was
was it him?
in
No?
that one?
They
It was
had
when they were
Morgan
doing the
Freeman.
magic tricks and stuff.
Oh, I didn't see that
Right.
one. I've
Oh,
heard of it,
okay,
I haven't
yeah.
seen that
No,
one.
it was Mark
see that one.
Ruffalo,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
the one guy that played
Morgan
Professor,
Freeman.
not Professor
Right.
X, but Batman's nemesis. I forgot the
Yeah.
guy's name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Lex
Yeah.
Luthor.
Oh, you know what? I know who you're
But-
talking about. They're talking about what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg. That dude.
Yeah, the one that was what was that? 30 seconds or less.
Yeah, Jesse. I think his name is Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, he's funny. That dude's funny as hell.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, it
funny.
was a funny
He's
movie.
Very funny. Yeah, I
Right.
like him because he was in The Social Network. He played. He was in The Social Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
He was.
that's right. That's
Yeah, he was in that one, and he was
See,
Zuckerberg.
oh man. You know what? Amazing. I swear, if you didn't say this, I wouldn't even thought of this or even considered that. But I'm like, you had to say it. With that
Right.
part where you said it sort of was like Fast and Furious. Because
It
now
was.
when I'm thinking, no, because look, when I'm thinking about it, right? I mean, other than the cars and the fact that they literally had to chain the whole gold and everything around. I mean, technically, yeah, it was. Because when you think about it, one, they were doing everything in a nice, safe compartment area. Which they were doing over there with the plane, same way. The only difference is the difference of vehicle and everything else. Planning things out, strategizing. And then technically, when you think
Come
about it, I
on
mean,
down here,
granted-
Wally.
oh,
Don't do it,
now,
Wally. Stay stuck, Wally.
Slow down. Because again, I have to admit when it's true. Because let's be honest, even though Fast and Furious didn't ultimately let you know who was the tech person, all this, but you know it when you see it, right? You knew who was what amongst each part of the crew overall,
Right.
And so that see,
But you do
gotta do that
do you
first.
remember Fast Five though? You remember Fast Five, right?
yeah. Of course.
Remember how it kind of showed, it showed like the flashbacks and then it flashed forward and it was showing what was going on now, and it kind of led up to the present time.
Yeah.
And then when they broke into the police station and they sold the safes and they used the garbage trucks to swap the safes and they stole all that money. Remember?
Right.
Yeah.
But see,
Yeah.
I can't.
No,
I
yeah,
couldn't
that's
gig this movie on Fast and Furious. There've been too many of them, like
Fast
parts.
Five.
So
Yeah, but it's just the many different components that was playing. So that's why I'm like, on one side, yeah, I do see the similarities. I do see a lot of the similarities. The only part is just how it played out, the way how the slight differences of how they played out. That's the only difference. But nonetheless, yeah, it is what it is.
But you gotta also say one thing, CLS. You're older like me, so at the end of the day, we've seen way more movies than the average person. So at the end of the day, the Italian Job, the Fast Furious 5, that was a long time ago.
It was.
So this
it came out
generation
2010.
would not even be able to compare that to what's going on here. So Wally, I need you to stay strong and stay with the men now. Let's go.
Hey, look. Hey, look.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
How old is Wally? How old is Wally?
I'm 29.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Oh, you the same
29.
age as Todd. You and Todd the same age.
Right.
Right.
Look, so I'm good. Look,
Right.
at the end of the day, I probably see more movies than most of the newer cats that are seeing these movies.
Probably.
Again, other than the fact that when he brought up the other movies and comparisons, the moment he did that, I already knew, like, I'm like, ew.
That was fine.
Because I ain't
Because
gonna lie, like if I seen it before and it's just a carbon copy, then it's like, all right, I can't make it seem special because I can't put that in 8. You got to be a one-off for me. But at the same time, like I said, the way how it played out and then how they're doing it, that's something different. So
yeah. I loved the Italian Job though. So when I saw it, I was like, oh man, here we go. Even
No,
the
but
ending, bro. Wait till we get to the ending. I'm gonna break down the ending. Wait till we get there.
But before we jump into the what scenes and performances, I do agree with Wally how because it threw me off. So when movies kind of throw me off, like some of the stuff was predictable, but I like how they kind of went through the motions, and you're like, damn, okay, I ain't even spot that. So I give them credit for that piece. Definitely with some similarities, but I think we'll get to it. Let me jump into the fourth one real quick. So what scenes or performances stuck out to you? And we'll go to Amazing first and work our way.
I can't say they necessarily stuck out. Like nothing stuck out. Scenes that just I was a little like, wasn't expecting that. Like I wasn't expecting the biggest bad guy. I don't know his name. But when he had shot the lady at the end, like I definitely was not expecting that. I liked this. Not that I liked, but I thought they did a good job at when they were trying to describe, like, hey, this guy's willing to do anything. And they had like showed the scene with the one guy hanging from the ceiling and that German Shepherd about to like tear him apart. I thought that was a good scene just to show like, hey, this guy will torture you and you'll be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the scene at the very end when Agent Gladwell, like, she kind of did like a 360 from like, oh, I'm done with law enforcement. I'm now going to be a millionaire with all of this gold. I just like the way that worked out. And like Wally had mentioned earlier, I do like the way they broke down on how like, hey, they did get the gold overall. Like, yeah, they did all this stuff for the right reasons. They saved lives, but guess what? We got all this gold too. And I did like the party scene on the bus. Like I did think that was funny when the one guy was like, hey, you kidnapped me. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was funny. I thought the overall was average, but I like those scenes.
Can I add on to what Amazing just said?
Yeah.
I'm done. Take it from here.
Oh yeah. Just so you know, FYI, because you said you never saw The Italian Job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, spoiler alert. Mark Wahlberg, he gets the gold, he falls in love, and he gets the girl in The Italian Job.
Well, I like all those.
See, man.
Falls in love, gets the girl, gets the gold.
Man, you're gonna make me hate this movie now. You're gonna make me hate this movie.
And even her father, because when Shirley Theron was like her father, he was like, if you meet the right girl and you make sure you hold on to her, and make sure you fall in love with the right girl, make sure you hold on to her forever. You never let her go. Hold on to her forever, never let her go.
CLS, I'm telling you right now, if you would have got on at the very beginning, you would have heard me say that Kevin Hart wanted to be a leader, and I brought up Mark Wahlberg. I brought up The Rock. I brought up Denzel, and that's exactly what he was doing for this because he was seriously tired.
He cannot be in their category. Kevin Hart is not in the category of Denzel.
Amy, go watch that movie, please. Watch that movie, please. Watch The Italian Job.
I'm gonna make her watch it this weekend. I'm gonna find it. We're gonna watch it.
The Italian Job, please. Make her watch The Italian Job.
Like, yeah, we're gonna watch it. That's it.
You know what it feels like to me? It feels like I'm gonna watch it and then I'm gonna have to come back and lower this score.
No, you're gonna raise this. You're gonna raise this score probably. You're probably gonna raise it.
Don't you
nah, I don't know, man. Italian Job was tough.
It is a great movie. Right. It's a great
but
film.
I will say this, right? When you think of all the other movies that Kevin has played out, and then you look at this one, like this is more of a jump, but it's not more so of getting on the tier of those guys, though. It's him leading up to that. He can get there, but he's definitely gonna have to do a little bit more in the action scenery if he wants to get to that type of tier.
Wow. I think this is definitely a step in the right direction.
Did you see that?
I'll say it like this, right?
He did last summer. What's it called? The Man in Toronto? That movie he did with Woody Harrelson. You see that one? It was funny. Like
I gotta watch that.
You watched that? You didn't watch it? Yeah.
No, I didn't watch it. No.
He did that one last summer.
Wally, Denzel is 6 foot something. He's got all these movies. Mm-hmm. We already know Kevin Hart is 5'2". He's never going to be Denzel. He won't ever have the height.
No, I'm not talking about
the height.
But I'm not talking about height.
He wanted to be a leading role, which he actually did in this movie.
Oh no,
and that's the only reason why I'm saying that. It was just you got to give him credit for that.
Oh no, for sure. I definitely give him credit for that. That's for sure. But my thing is, I'm just saying for what Amazing is saying in comparing. It's like you have to think about like in that same scenery. We're talking about like measuring it out, right? Like let's be honest. You look at Training Day.
Yeah.
Like, and versus this, like you got to get a little bit more, you got to get a little bit more hands, you get a little.
But it's
more
two different. That's two different genres.
Because he was slick action in this one. He was slick action, which is still good. Don't get it twisted. He was slick action. He was smart, but physical action now. Like, don't get me wrong, he was still physical in this movie for sure. He was combative and all that. He was nice with it, but I mean, if it was any other day, if it was any other movie or any other day, like, let's be honest, you get smacked up and owned by these guys that been in this business for a long time,
right.
Motherfucking, beating people up. But nonetheless,
but you can't compare this to no Training Day. It was two different genres. Style of film, two different styles.
No. The reason why I'm saying that in comparison is because the action and crime scenery of it. But my thing is just the fact of action. Like I said, he was slick action, but Denzel was that action. So that's why I'm like, this is the right path for him. This is just a nice step because, again, he's showing that smooth action of him getting in there, right? Mm-hmm. And you still need that because even Denzel was smooth action within Training Day. But the thing is now when you really see that real dog out of him, that real dog that comes out, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Stepping stones.
You might as well, this game. If you're gonna compare a film, you might as well compare this shit to fucking what was that movie did? Inside Man. Fucking Inside Man or some shit like that.
No, he's just talking about the progression where he needs to go as far as like his acting capability. I agree.
Yeah, I think this is he's gaining. So I'm just saying like that's what I'm just saying.
But let me go ahead and give Casey Fred. So what scenes or performances stuck out to you?
A lot of the scenes that stuck out to me was I love, for some strange reason, the plane, when they was trying to get the plane and they had to go back to the guy that they said, man, I don't even really like this guy, but he has the jet that we need. And then this guy he has such a unique plane and he wants to show them the inside. And like while he was saying, the comedy to me was talking about how at the bottom, he said, man, you can put anything at the bottom of it. And he was like, ball so hard and stuff like that. He was like, oh no, dude, we got what you're trying to say. You don't have to keep going with this, And he kept going with her, whatever. And that very thing that he had, which wasn't on a normal plane, was the very thing that actually saved their lives. Because Abby, the agent, was able to be able to say, hey, we have civilian hostages on board. And that's what actually protected, her. But then that also saved them because her boss was actually wanting to take the plane down and actually kill them before they had even landed. And so I just thought that was really cool. I did also something that was very unique that I really did like was it meant a lot to Cyrus, who was Kevin Hart, to that week, or as you guys said, that 5-day business trip or whatever, where they got a chance to come together. And then at the end of the movie, he says, you think I haven't been listening to you, but I have been listening to you. And the story that you told about that painting in that picture, I actually found that dude and I bought that painting for you and got it for you. And you could tell that really sank in because that's something that she never did let go all these years. And so there was some closure that came there, and it was just like it just brought her even closer. And then, like I was saying, another scene was that how they used the NFT to be able to put that scene and capture how that evil dude all of a sudden shot that other woman all of a sudden. So when the cops showed up, they was able to see that, hey, he was trying to be a badass and say, hey, I was just protecting my property. These guys are intruders, and not realizing that, hey, no, we got it right here. You just shot this woman and killed her. And it's us that you're holding hostage, not the other way around. And so I thought that was really cool. And then, of course, here's my last one I want to say, because I want to make sure you guys get in. But this whole time, Abby, the agent, is thinking that her whole team wasn't with her because one of the guys didn't get on the plane. And the reality was he was setting up on the other end to be able to guide the gold, to be able to get it. So that way you'd be able to find out that he was in it all alone for them to be able to steal the gold. He just had to bring the gold to that particular spot, which they all met up at the end for. And I thought that was really cool. So his team was always intact, and so many times there's always like a traitor, you know. But in this case, it wasn't a traitor. He was in on it the whole time, and I thought that was really cool. That was a twist that nobody really knew until the very end. So
right, because let me add this, Fred. You said a pretty important part, because let's remember, if you remember the beginning part, right, where the hacker, the guy that was getting the paintings, right? Notice one thing: when he did all that and he sent it off, guess who was right there waiting in the wing? The same guy. The same way towards the end, waiting in the wing. He was very much perfect. But also, you did say something else that was also another point that I would want to say that they should have added in this movie that could have made it slightly better. But we'll get to that on the next one.
All right. So CLS, what scenes or performances stuck out to you in this movie?
Let me add on to what Fred said about the Hackney print. That was the painting that was stolen, I guess, from her school, Abby's school. And I guess her mother was a teacher there or something like that. That was the story when they were on the rooftop talking, and Cyrus were talking. Yeah. And that was the reason why she decided to join. Was it Interpol? And she became the agent.
Right.
I think that was the reason, because she never was able to track down it. I thought that story was cool. And I guess him, kind of like, I don't know, was he sharing his feelings with her? They were like talking, like, because you could kind of tell those were the vibes I was getting, that he was in denial. Like, I mean, he was falling in love with her, but he wouldn't just come out and just tell her how he felt, though. He wouldn't say it. And then the other dude, he picked up on it, on that energy.
Yeah.
He kept telling him to look at her, and he was making that funny ass face.
Right, exactly. I'm trying to tell you, guys, they are pieces of him. I'm trying to tell you.
He said, well, look at me. Now look at her. And he was looking at his face. That was funny.
That was a funny scene.
And like I said, the park bench scene, that was funny too. When he sat down, he spread his legs open like this. He was like, "Damn, dude, all right, dog, is like that." Okay, homeboy.
Right, he might be like,
some of this homeboy stuff. Yeah, that was funny. Oh, the beginning was cool. N8, N8 is the dude Ned from the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I saw his face, I knew who it was. Oh, okay, because he was in 3 Spider-Man movies and one Avenger movie too, like one of the Avenger movies. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I didn't know he was in this movie. I didn't expect to see him when he took the mask off.
Right.
So that was cool. Oh, you know what's cool? I didn't look it up to see if it's true, but I'm assuming it's true. When Cyrus was telling that story about why they do all that stuff in the first place, when he told that story about the Mona Lisa, when he was telling N8 about the Mona Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a cool story too.
Yeah.
He was talking about, well, he sold, he was like, Van Gogh sold it for $25,000, and then nobody cared about it if it was like 400 years, and then like, you know what I mean? Nobody cared about it. They only cared about the story, what the story that was attached to it, and now it's worth 890 million, 860 million, something like that. I thought that was a cool story.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead. I'll give my performances. So definitely a big up to Kevin Hart. I think he did a strong performance in this one, and I'll say one of the scenes, like what CLS was saying, definitely that first scene, because I think that's what showed like the depths of thinking he was doing, and Wally was like elaborating on that earlier, where it's not like he really did anything illegal. He went and bid on the thing, so he like threw everybody off because he's just like, hey, I'll pay 20 million. So it was like, honestly, he just did a lot of diversions and stuff, but everything he was doing was pretty much legitimate. So when they got the guy and stuff, even gave him more of a profit. So it just showed how he operates, where it's like, hey, not only am I gonna build this whole like distraction and pull it off legally, but I'm gonna get you paid too. So it showed why he wasn't gonna ever get really caught and stuff. So I like how they did that. As far as like that scene just stuck out, and kind of carried the movie, had you interested and stuff. So I definitely like that. And I do like how the end of the movie kind of played out when they were showing like the one guy that like I didn't see that coming, where it seemed like he was like detached from the movie. He quit because, like Fred said, it was like, man, you always got the person that's like disloyal or they get caught up in something. But it showed like him like at the end coming back. So I like how they kind of incorporated that. But other than that, I think, like I said, definitely think it was a solid movie. But there's a couple things I do want to change. So we'll go ahead and jump into that fourth one. Like, if you were the director or the producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently? And I'll start with you first, CLS.
I don't know, man. Like I gotta think about it for a second.
All right, let me go real quick because I got a ton.
Oh, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
All right, man, because I think the beginning started off strong because I think that was like different from, I'll say, the Italian Job and the other movie like Ocean's 11. So I was like, oh damn, okay, that was real creative how they did that whole like scheme type thing. But the one thing I think I hated about the movie that kind of messed it up for me was actually the airplane hijacking.
Yeah, I agree.
I wish they would have left that out and did more of a progression of the movie where it was just like they did like multiple schemes, kind of like Ocean's 11. Like maybe they didn't do the like airplane hijacking for the gold. It had like a different storyline, and that way, man, you could have like part 2 and 3, because I think this is a good like series that they can have multiple parts. So it's like, don't do the plane jacking yet. Don't have like the lady cop quit Interpol. Maybe it's just like they do kind of catch them and they're like, we need to work with this group to kind of do like different missions and stuff. So I think if they would have done a spin, I forgot the TV show where the one guy where he was working with the FBI agent and he was like a scam artist type guy, always dressed real nice. I forgot the name of the show.
It was a show or a movie?
Blacklist.
No, dang, I forgot the guy's
name.
Man.
Blacklist is one of those, but it's not. But it wasn't from a movie. It was
but it was a TV series, and the guy was like him and his friends. They would always go and do stuff for the FBI agent, like stealing stuff. So I wish they would have had like a partnership like that. I got to find the name of that movie, or the TV show. But I wish they would have had arrangement like that, and eventually, like maybe in part 2 or 3, she quits. But I think they just kind of cut it off too soon, where they could have definitely built up on, I think, the parts 2 and 3, of the storyline. So yeah, I would have left the airplane hijacking out. Probably did like other similar missions, like how they did in the first scene, build up and stuff, like show like they're able to, critically think and then progress to the like the airplane hijacking, because that was just a little too quick, I think, for the squad and stuff. So it's like, what you gonna top in this, if you want to do a part 2, you got to beat that out. So it's just like, I think they crammed it in too fast.
Jerk, was you talking about the Scorpion? Wasn't there a show like that?
No, let me look it up, because I know exactly which one, but I'll go ahead. I'll toss it up. You ready now, CLS, for what would you change, or you want me to come back to you?
Just the airplane heist, because like I said, everything. I mean, I don't know, you'd have to rewrite a whole bunch of the scenes. If you don't want it to be too similar to the Italian Job, you'd have to change it up a lot. You know what I mean? There was so many similarities.
But how many years ago was it been since the Italian Job? It's been a while.
Like 99, 2000, like around that time. I think 1999. Might have been 2000.
A whole another generation.
Maybe 2000.
Never seen that. So, but it was good though. Yeah.
All right, Casey, Fred, if you were the director or producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently?
Probably because I like it so much. I kind of like where you almost, how at the very end of every action movie, there's always some kind of scene that lets you know that there might be another heist that's coming behind that. I know that's kind of hard when you got all that gold, but I would have thought maybe, there was some criminal waiting in the wings to kind of maybe either steal the gold back or steal from them or something like that, to kind of carry it on, because it was a good movie. And I feel like you could keep it going if you wanted to, I think that's one of the reasons why I like miniseries, because you can keep going and going. But other than that, I really did enjoy the movie. And like I said, I would, tell everybody to go watch it, because it's action. So,
okay. Yeah, the TV show I was talking about was White Collar. That was the name of it.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I used to watch that a little bit.
Yeah, so I think if they want to have something like that, and the one thing I do like about going back to like Italian Job, like I like how they had the internal person become the villain in that too. So I think the villain was kind of weak in this one. So yeah, I wish they would have just changed a couple things so they could have prolonged it, because I think I like the squad that they assembled in this, and it showed they was high level. But I just think they went too hard, in the on this one where the airplane hijacking, because it's like, damn, you gotta top that now in the second one, you know. So I think they should have did like smaller schemes to show some stuff, stole some stuff for like Interpol or something, start that arrangement, and then, you know, part two could have led up to that, you know, and it'd be like, all right, it makes sense. They got the skill sets to do this. We seen them like pull off other things. So
Yeah.
but all right, let me get Wally on there. If you were the director and the producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently?
So okay, so that one part when they were talking about the whole, like when the female was getting to the story with Cyrus about her past and everything. I wish there was like just a little bit of like a little backdrop scenery of that, just giving the image of it, just a tad bit. And then of course when they fast forward that towards the end and he was telling her about he found the person and everything. I wish they did that too, in a sense, because that, you know, it just would have just added on a little bit of it. Another part that they should have added in this that would made this funny was when they brung back the plane to the guy. He would have looked at the plane and be like, what happened to my plane? What happened to my plane? He would have faded. That would be funny. That would have been funny. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I would have cracked up on that one.
That would have been hilarious, because I knew the moment he see that play, he could be like, he's gonna lose it. He would have lost it. That would have been extra funny. But the one thing I definitely would say that was a little bit so messed up was, I would agree on the plane part, but not entirely the plane, but how people were positioned. For instance, the tech-savvy woman, her position where she was and where she had the mini computer, was way too obvious for me, because I believe she should have been positioned in the back. Because let's be honest, you have very secret operative movements on the computer, and those two mentioned henchmen were in the behind her. Literally, one of them was right there in the corner. Like he could have literally glanced and saw what was going on. Like that was too obvious. That was way too obvious. That right there was too obvious. And then on another part was when both Cyrus and the woman was in the bathroom. You dropped the device in the trash. My thing is, if I'm a crook and I believe someone's doing something nefarious or trying to set up, right? Okay, because guaranteedly enough, Cyrus and her didn't show that they were, you know, the people that were on the plane trying to do anything funny. It just what it came out to once they start seeing what they were doing and what they're leading up to. But the thing is, for you to go into the bathroom and then consider, you know, and the fact that they throw it in the trash, like, seriously, I think you could have hide that much better, like the other person did when they put it in the lights or something. Like, you could hide that better from me, in my honest opinion. That was just tacky. That was tacky. But other than that, I think they played it off very well. And another thing, remember when that moment in the scene where they start showing the villain, but they start showing what his role was in it, why he had the gold, and who he was trying to get, and they start showing that those very moments where, you know, the floods were going off, like something was going down where the floods and destruction was coming. I wish they showed the device that was causing. That would have added extra implications to that movie a little bit much more, for the direness of why you got to get the gold and why it's so important to stop that guy from.
See, there you go, Wally. See, like maybe if they would have had to go in and steal the device,
right?
You know?
Like that device there, like that was important. Like that, I think that should have been seen to know the severities of why they had to get that gold and take that away from, because especially when you got like the you know, the operatives and all that, and this is some high grade stuff. Like, you should have shown that at least.
I agree. Because you just brought up another point, because I was actually telling Amazing, I was like, man, I wish they would have done like one more scheme before they did the airplane thing, where, like, you know, the device, like you were saying, Wally, they put together in the bathroom. I was like, I wish they would have done in like Ocean's 11. You remember they had to break into that like college and steal that piece to, you know, put it together, that thing he was putting underground and stuff. I forgot what it was, the pinch or something like that. But I wish they would have had to do stuff like that to assemble it, or like you said, like maybe go steal the device or something. You know,
right.
That would have definitely been a good look. Yeah. So right. I like what you said.
Yeah, but I will say this too, because what you were saying also, as far as like when you were saying that that part where if they were to make another movie, right? Like if they were to expand this a little bit more, I will sit here and say, yeah, the plan and everything else, if you were to consider this as an extension, was a bit much. And you can only think of so much more of what you can do to top this or keep it in the same realms of this where you try to make it different. But I do think when you think about the core of this team and how they think and move and process, I think this is really as far as they go. Because remember, these guys are in the atmosphere of thieving, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to keep in that atmosphere of thieving. So at best, if anything else, they just steal something from crooks and that's it. That's all it really comes down to. But I mean, because I think I say it like this, right? If there's going to be a new high level, because you got to think about it. We've seen a lot of thieving movies around the way and a lot of different ways of how they go. And always there's either a bank, some high end stuff you want to take and snatch. It's like eventually, I get it, you want more, but it's like eventually when you're just going to just realize it's just all going to be like, it's going to be too close. Eventually, it's going to be too close. Like, I think this is like a hidden cell. As much as you want it to continue, because if you make this continue, then you have to be getting real crafty. The technical aspects would have to be real crafty, and this is why I actually am okay with the plan, because the way how they had to do certain things and everything else, they had to be real crafty with this. Because let's be honest, if that old woman were to make the move and make the call the way they did, that would have screwed up everything.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
But there's actually a clever way they could, because when you bought up the device, they ain't never find it. You know, so it's still out there. So maybe that's like where they got to be like, hey, you know, somebody actually grabbed it here. That one villain had it hidden somewhere. So because, you know, they never captured that. So I mean, it could, you know, where they got to go steal that now. So they might need to hire us to fill that out. But let me get Mason on there. If you were the director and producer of this movie, what would you change or do differently?
The only thing I would change or do differently, well, I'll add Wally's points. I do think a couple flashbacks would have been good, especially for the relationship, as well as the original reason why she was so interested in, you know, like art thievery. I like that. The only other thing, again, I think it would have only added if there was a couple more obvious romantic humor scenes between Abby and Kevin Hart. So yes, I think it would have added. Like, it didn't have to be extreme, but I think it could have added to their chemistry at the very least.
Oh yeah, like if they would show like a flashback scene when they met at the event or whatever. Yes. They didn't show it. I don't remember.
And if they would have had more just like romantic comedy type stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
All right. So we'll go ahead. We'll jump. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you mind if I go first?
Yeah, go. Hold on. So like rating, now that you heard different perspectives, would you change your score or keep your score the same? So amazing. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. I wanted to go first because I want to give the example of being open-minded, because I feel like a couple of y'all should also be open-minded after careful consideration. I'll go ahead and go to
a 6.
I think I said 5. I'll go to 5.7.
You said a 5.7?
Yeah, okay, she left that in average territory.
So she's still in the average territory.
But I wanted to show y'all
all these feedbacks.
Other people's take the feedback and be honest with y'all selves.
That was enough feedback.
Thank you. Thank you for the lesson. Yeah.
But all right, Wally. We gave, that should have been a 6. Oh man. Look, but okay, yeah. For my score, I am willing to dwindle down a little bit. I'm going to dwindle down. I'm gonna hit this at least 7.5. Yeah, 7.5. I'm gonna hit it at
so Wally went down to the very good territory after the shaming tactics from Amazing and her.
Well, not from Amazing. More so from DLS. Like, cause what he's look, if this was true to form, what he said, bro, no, you ain't gonna say that over me. I'm sorry.
So it was just a comparison.
Point. It was the excellent points made We were both
Nah,
open-minded. You know, the
it
rest
wasn't.
of you can also be open-minded.
All right,
look,
Casey.
I like to say and say amazing did not change my opinion. To be honest, no. she may gave me some nuggets here and there, but no, she wasn't the real changer for me.
No, I think it was the movie comparisons because, like, yeah, CLS had me thinking about that too. So we
was
just messed
more
with
so,
you.
yeah.
Because the ending, because they even copied the ending of the Italian Job, even the ending, bro.
Yeah, the gold scene was a little like like I said, I wish they would have done more with the devices. So I got you on that. Yeah, so that's why mine was in the original territory. But let me get Casey Fred real quick. So Casey Fred, staying the same? You going up? You going down?
I'm actually just going to stay the same at 7.5. Like I said, I was very proud of Kevin Hart to be able to all of a sudden get out of being Robin and trying to be Batman. He's trying to be a leading role. He was a leader in this group. He not only pulled off the heist, but also got the woman. So when you think of it from that perspective of him not being a sidekick or just a co-star, but him actually leading the road, I thought he did a very good job. So he's more than just a comedian. So yeah, 7.5 for me.
Have you seen what was it True Story with Kevin Hart? That
Nah,
TV
we haven't
series?
seen that yet.
Y'all need
I'm
to
about
watch
to take
that
a
shit.
look.
It's on Netflix. You need to watch it. I think it's like 5 or 6 episodes, like a mini series. It's really good, really good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out.
You want to see Kevin Hart get serious? Watch that shit. It's not.
Okay,
It's not even. He does he was like a stand-up comic in the movie, but the series, but it's more of a serious drama. And once he's nice, plays like his older brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So CLS, you gonna keep your rating the same, or you going up,
7.
down?
7.
Okay.
It's still a 7. I'm saying that ended, man. It was just like the movie even ended the way it started. Like they ended like in Mark Wahlberg, he was back in Venice with the girl that he was in love with. They were all cuddled up on that boat. Remember, they was on that, on that boat.
Yeah,
he got the gold, he got the girl, and he's in love.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're describing something a little more in the average territory, but
Doug, you never seen the movie. Before you go to bed tonight, start watching
Amazing
the movie.
just don't want to be alone. See, Amazing can stop.
She can't speak because she didn't watch the movie yet. That's why.
You need to raise your own number to a 6.
Watch the movie. I'm telling you. Watch the Italian Job before you go to bed tonight.
Amazing.
Yeah, we gonna watch it this weekend. But let me go ahead and get my rating. I'm staying the same. Like what you guys said, the ending, was similar. I wish they would have done some things differently, but definitely like the acting. I think Kevin Hart did a good job, with the smooth character, showed the critical thinking side. And I just like these type of like thief movies anyways, big fan of Italian Job, all of them, even though there's some similarities. I still like that niche. There's actually a TV show, it was like a British one called Hustle, where they had like a lot of schemes. I don't know if y'all seen that, but that was real good. So yeah, I like this niche anyways. So yeah, I hope they figure something out. I think this would be a good little follow-on or something. Like I said, hit us up so we can help out. But go ahead, Silas.
No, I was gonna add on to what you were saying. You ever see that movie Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington?
Yeah,
that was another heist film. They stole all that money. That was a good movie too. Yeah.
Nah, but I definitely like the heist movies. So yeah, I like what they did. I think they just rushed it a little bit. Where it's like, man, they could have squeezed out a couple more, but maybe they figure out something clever. But all right, man. We'll go ahead and start closing this down. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this down. We'll go around real quick. So Amazing. Any parting words? Where can we find you at?
You can find me around here. Tomorrow for awareness is National Wear Red Day for heart disease awareness. Perfect bread for you. You can wear your red and also support heart awareness.
I thought you were going to say breast cancer at first.
Tomorrow's Groundhog Day.
It's pink, sir.
It's great.
Groundhog Day.
I got my months mixed up. When is breast cancer awareness?
I think it's February. Or is that February too? I think it might be.
Okay.
Was it like in the spring or something? I don't know.
No, isn't breast cancer like around football season?
Yeah, I think
it is. Yeah, them cats be rocking the pink heavy.
Yeah,
yeah, be rocking like pink cleats.
That's pink.
Yeah. But all right, let me get Wally real quick. So Wally, parting words, and where can we find you at?
Right. So my parting words to the movie is go watch it. Don't believe what people tell you in their ratings. Their rating is just asinine. Literally, it's asinine. It really is. Bro, I saw them ratings. Worse. Like, I'm like, you have to go away.
Oh, yeah, they do that. They do that on Netflix.
Yeah, because the ratings that they gave, it was just like, how you give this? Like, okay, I don't know what it is, but yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, but don't believe the ratings. It's actually better than what they made it seem to be. You know, it's not excellent, but it's definitely good for you to watch. Oh yeah, I know. I forgot the other thing that I wanted to change. The one major thing I would change is take that comedy out and put drama. Because again, I think the way how they sold a lot of the stories, you know, as far as their history and everything else was real good. And just getting that, you know, that good feeling in there, you know, as far as that goes, just getting that sensual mindset. Also bringing it a little bit to reality, like when the woman was telling her story about her past and why she became who she became. Because you know, every single time you ever hear that about somebody, like if they became a lawyer or a cop or whatever it may be, you know, you hear a story that got them there to their purpose and their ideals. And it's like, this is why I'm here today. This is why I'm here with this. Like, this is why I do what I do, because of this. And this is what gives me that purpose and that drive to be here and do what I do. So, you know, to see her do that and to get that overall, you know, satisfaction to do her job and then to even, you know, do that. And then, of course, the story behind it. And even for Cypress to even remember all that and then still had that in the back of his head, like, you know, I'm going to find her what she's been missing. I'm going to find this for her. Even though we're focusing on this, but I'm fine this for her.
So we knew that was gonna happen. Come on, don't even act like you
knew
that was gonna happen. You fucking knew he was gonna find that damn picture.
Hey, look, it is what it is. But that's what I'm saying.
He was in love, bro.
This was like I said, this was more so drama for me than it is comedy. I think they need to kick the comedy out. They need to stop that and just put the drama in, because that's what it's sold for me. On this
he was good at tracking shit. We knew he was gonna track that.
Oh no! Oh yeah, we know. Oh yeah, of course. He definitely had that locked down. I mean, that's for sure. Even if they didn't show it, that was for sure. And you know,
he was thinking about it when they was on that rooftop talking. Did you see the way he was?
Oh yeah. Of
thinking
course.
about that
the
shit.
way how he was.
That shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because he was just looking at her, the way she was talking, everything else, just how she was so connected to it. Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, that's for sure. But those are my parting words for the movie. Go watch it. Have a blast. Do not believe the hype, because whoever commented on that is just, you know, they're just talking mess. It's talking mess. Go watch it.
KC Fred, parting words. And where can we find you at?
Parting words, I would definitely say is, you know, always rise to the occasion. And so that's what Kevin Hart did in this movie. That's what his team did. And that's what it took to be able to finish strong. Which, of course, reminds me of the Kansas City Chiefs, baby.
Oh,
you know,
God.
I didn't know he was going to tie this in. How did I know?
So y'all can find me, you know, watching the Super Bowl as the Kansas City Chiefs win another ring, baby. Another ring. So I have to let you guys know. And
they're going to start glossing. You
get you a Taylor Swift t-shirt?
It's that time.
I'm about to get me one. I'm a Swiftie. I'm a full-fledged
Taylor Swift t-shirt.
Hey, we're going to have it all, bro. But the thing about it is this, rise to the occasion. But no, seriously, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And like I said, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a joy to be with you guys, each and every one of you.
I appreciate you. All right, CLS.
I'm just gonna add on to what Wally was saying. Is what don't believe the hype. No, he is right though, because people, you know, you have some people on Netflix and they'll go by the ratings on there when people rate the movies, and that'll determine whether or not they watch that film. Just watch the movie and, you know, form your own opinion about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just watch the shit. And make sure you watch The Italian Job. It might still be on Hulu or Netflix, but you definitely need to watch it. Amazing. And you can find me Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. This is CLS.
OnlyFans. You still got that OnlyFans account?
OnlyFans account. OnlyFans. Yeah, I'm on OnlyFans doing movie reviews, all that good stuff. Yep. Butt ass nigga doing movie reviews. Yep.
And I just wanted to piggyback before we close it out, what CLS was saying about, like, and Wally was hitting on it as far as reviews. Like, definitely don't believe a lot of reviews, except for ours. Like, get your reviews here. Shit, we about to take over this space, so like, get them here. Wally, you're always welcome to come back, man. Hopefully, you permanent, man. We love the energy, and anybody else ever want to pull up and come kick it with us. And a couple of people was giving some movie recommendations, so I know the Society of the Snow one. There was a lot of interaction, so yeah, I appreciate you guys for like giving us feedback and showing interest. So definitely love that. Like I said, give us some movie recommendations, and we'll definitely try to incorporate those into the movie listing. But keep tuning in, and we'll keep breaking these down. All right, peace.
Go Chiefs.
Oh, hell no.